Hey, this is James Pelton, and I wanted to do a video today on drip, and it has been a very, very long time since I've done a video on drip. As you guys know, drip is my number one holding by far. I have many drip. At all-time high, I had like $600,000, $700,000 worth of drip, and I have even more drip than that now because I've been mostly hydrating as the price of drip has gone down. So, and the reason that I haven't done a drip video in a while is just because of the price action. Okay, so people, I've been doing drip videos all this time. Then people who got in here, they've been a little bit wrecked as the price has been going down. And I want to talk to you about why I think now still might be a good time to buy drip, and kind of talk to you about just how I think about it. It's a common question. I took a lot of flack the other day because someone asked me, is drip a safe investment? And I said, no, it's not a safe investment. I want to kind of just explain what I mean by that. But as I've watched the price been going down, I've been kind of just waiting for it to stabilize and then maybe even start to see kind of a bounce back. And that's where I would probably recommend, although not financial advice, that maybe drip is worth getting back into now. So a couple things that I want to get out of the way. Is drip a safe investment? Okay, so if you guys remember my blueprint for financial freedom, I consider safe investments over here. So like real estate, or I tweeted out earlier today, there's I bonds, which are United States bonds that give a 9% return. Okay, that's a safe investment. You still could lose money, but your odds of losing money on a U.S. bond are very low. Then these would be a little bit riskier, but higher returns like freeway and yield notes. And I have drip, and I think this is where it belongs over here in the DeFi play. It's not a safe investment, as nothing in DeFi is. Okay, there's a chance you could lose all your money if you put it into drip. But I think, in my opinion, the risk-reward ratio for drip is at a good point right now. And I want to show you kind of just a spreadsheet that helps. So when drip was up at $150, that means that if you put in $500, you could buy 3 drip. Which means after a year of compounding, you'd have 91 drip. Which means if the price of drip went down to $1, okay, so we'll say it just kept going down to $1, that means your $500 after a year would turn into $92, okay? So that's kind of a worst case scenario, and it looked like that's the direction that it was going. Now that it's at $10 or $13, it's been hovering around there for a little bit, you can buy 45 drip for $500, which means after a year of compounding, you'll have over 1,000 drip. Okay, and so now if the price continues to go down to $1, which it looks to me like it's a little bit stabilized, and one thing that is better about drip than the node projects, so we've seen a lot of these node projects that are just going to go down forever. Drip, unlike these node projects, has a max payout. Okay, so you only get 365% of what you initially put in. So it's not lifetime rewards like a lot of these nodes where the buying pressure just increases eternally. But drip, there is sell pressure, but then it goes down after people claim out their whole 365%. So I personally do believe that at some point it's going to stabilize, and maybe we're here now. Maybe it'll go a little bit lower. It's hard to tell. But then I think it will bounce back up. And, again, looking at the spreadsheet, even if it goes down a little bit from where we're at, if you, hydrate for a year, you end up with a 274% return on your initial 500. If it stays around $10, you could end up with, $13K after a year of compounding. And then obviously if the price ever goes back up, this was at $100, at some point drip was at $200. If it ever gets back to those all-time highs, then $500 investment could make you quite a bit of money. Okay, and so that's why I think the risk-reward ratio is there. Again, I still don't call it a safe investment because there is a good chance. There's a chance. Let's say it goes down to a penny. Okay, if it goes down to a penny, you're going to lose all your $500. I think $1, that's bad. I think the odds of it going down to a penny in the next year is not good. I think $1 is, maybe there's a 20% chance it goes down to $1. Honestly, I think this is probably the most likely case, is that it hovers around the 10 to 20 to 30. And so in that case, you would make money. So I want to be very clear. Drip does, for the moment at least, and for the last year, it's had Ponzinomics, okay? So I do believe that Drip there are Ponzinomics going on there, okay? So the price of the Drip going up is from new people buying, okay? There is not a revenue stream as of yet. There are some on the horizon. I'm not necessarily against Ponzinomics. They can make you money for a while. For example, Bitcoin is Ponzinomics, right? Bitcoin, the price goes up if new people get in, okay? And that's kind of how I look at Drip too. I think there's a lot of potential to make money. So 5 reasons that I think now is a good time to get in to Drip. Number 5 is it's been going for over a year, okay? And in crypto, that's a big deal. There's been no exploits. There's been no hacks. It's still going after a year. It's already better than 99% of crypto projects that has lasted a year. And that there haven't been exploits, there haven't been hacks, and I don't anticipate that there will be in the future also. So that's number 5 reason that I think Drip is a good buy right now. Number 4, they have a bonkers community. Okay, when I said that I thought Drip was not safe, I got bashed so badly in the Drip Telegram group. In fact, I would not recommend anyone go to the Drip Telegram group, okay? It's awful. But I do like to see this crazed community because I know there's a base there that is going to keep pushing Drip forward. They have a very robust referral system, and if you have this big, huge base of crazed fanatics, that's good for your protocol. Okay, that's a good base for your protocol. I have a lot of people that I know are going to continue to hydrate. If Drip was down at a penny, they would still sit there every day hydrating because they believe in it so much. Okay, and I'm not quite there. I'm not a craze. I don't believe in it as much as a lot of those people do, and I'll probably even get some backlash for saying something like that. But I do. That is bullish for me to see a community that is that crazy. But if you're part of that community, I recommend you chill out just a little bit. You can support it strongly without attacking people who say anything negative about it. But that's my number 4 reason that I think Drip might be a good buy. Number 3 is just the team. So Forex Shark, one of the smartest guys that I've interacted with, he too, I think he might be a little angry with me because I said Drip wasn't safe. But we might be having a discussion in upcoming time. A debate, is Drip safer than Bitcoin, and maybe talk through my spreadsheet here. He might try to convince me to move Drip towards the left, okay? And it'll take some convincing. I think it belongs there. Some people would say it belongs down here. I don't. I like it here in these DeFi 26% a month returns. But I think Forex Shark's going to try to convince me to put it this way. But I think he's very smart. He has a lot of experience. He's building a lot of cool things. We'll talk about a couple of them here. And I believe they just hired a chief marketing officer, okay? And marketing is going to be huge for Drip. They want to expand over into like Asia and those things. And someone in charge of marketing, and even rallying the troops for referrals and getting people to market for them like I'm doing here, that will be huge for Drip, I believe. So the number 2 reason that I think Drip might be a good buy right now is that the Animal Farm, I believe, is close to actually launching. Okay, so Animal Farm, if you're not familiar with that, and I'll have to do a separate video on this because there's a lot going on here also. But it's kind of a yield farm that Forex Shark was releasing that's kind of built alongside the Drip community. And there's just been a lot of problems with the Animal Farm launch and with just how it's gone so far. And I think that's taken, first off, a lot of Forex's attention away from Drip. But it's also kind of just made the community in general just a little nervous, I think, about, hey, is this going to actually work? But I believe Animal Farm and the yield farming that's going to go on there, I believe Animal Farm will be one of the biggest yield farms in DeFi. And I think all of that will go to bolster drip and the price of drip. So when that actually, the fact that drip is still hanging around with Animal Farm not working out the way that it was supposed to, I think shows that when it does start to work, in my opinion, again, not financial advice, but you'd want to be in before that starts to happen. So, and the number one reason that I believe drip might be a good buy right now is just there's a whole slew of new things coming out, and it's hard, drip doesn't do a roadmap where they say, oh, on this day we're going to do this, on this day we're going to do this, on this day we're going to do this, but they are building a lot of stuff. They're building scratch tickets, which I think people are going to have a lot of fun with. It's going to be utility added to the drip token. They're adding peer-to-peer lending. I know Forex is big on lending and on insurance, and I know he has a lot of ideas for utility to add to the tokens. And I think once the Animal Farm stuff gets sorted out, a lot of this utility will start to get added. I know there's a new drip UI that's coming out soon. I know they're wanting to expand into the Asian markets like crazy, and those are huge markets, okay? If you think the U.S. market is big, the Asian markets are much, much, much bigger than the U.S. markets. For something like this, again, you can wait and see. You could wait and see, well, what does the price of drip do? There's always a balance of getting in early with high risk, high reward, or waiting and getting in with lower risk, lower reward. Okay, so you could wait and see what the price does over the next few months. But the one problem is if it goes up, let's say the drip price goes up to 50. Well, now, is it a good buy then? I don't know. I feel pretty good about buying it at 10. I don't know if I feel as good about buying it at 50. The higher up it goes, the further it could come down. I don't know. It's really hard to tell. To me, with what they have going on, it wouldn't surprise me if drip shot back up into the 40s or 50s. Okay. Now, I could be wrong. It could go down to 1. It could go down to 1 cent. It could go out of existence. But I just think the community behind it is too strong, and I think Forex is doing too much for that to happen. So if you're wanting to get involved in drip, if you don't know how it works, basically you're going to get some BNB. Okay, so you need to get some BNB on Binance or on PancakeSwap, and then you're going to buy your drip right straight off the fountain on their website. I always switch my slippage to 1 just to make sure I get the best deal. Well, let's just say I want this at 1.5 BNB is going to be about $500, I believe. So you just say, okay, I want 1.5 drip. You go ahead and buy it, and then you go to the faucet. And I actually have 3 wallets. So this is something that whales, maybe I'm a small whale, you might say, but there is a total max payout of 100K drip. So if you start getting close to that, what we do is we create a new wallet. So I actually have 3 drip wallets going right now. So, but after you get your BNB, you need to select a buddy, okay? And a lot of people are going to think, hey, you made this video just so that you could get more people to be on your team, okay? And if that was true, if what I was really after was referrals, I would have been making videos in a panic. I would have been making videos during all this time, just trying to convince people to come into drip, come into drip, come into drip. I was making a lot more money daily when drip was up here than I am now, okay? So if all I was about was the money, then I would have been telling people all the way down, just keep buying drip, keep buying drip. But you notice I've stayed very quiet because I was not sure. I wasn't sure where the bottom was going to be, where we were going to start to see this bounce. And this is now where I feel fairly comfortable with it. So you have to add a buddy here. If you want to use my address, here's my address. I'll put it in the link below, but you can add me as your buddy. I do airdrops. I've done over $100,000 worth of airdrops. People always say, you don't do airdrops. Hey, go and check if you've received an airdrop. Put your address in here and look up. I guarantee you that I've given you an airdrop at some point, almost. So you're going to add a buddy, and you can use me if you would like. If you have someone else, I always say use who you heard about, whoever convinced you to buy drip, use them as your buddy. They deserve the credit for you getting in. So go ahead and you put your buddy address down here, update your buddy, then make sure you deposit your drip. Okay, so you'll have some drip and hit max and deposit it. There's 10% tax as it goes into the faucet here. And then you'll see your drips show up here. And then every day, 1% will come over here, okay? And if you want to hit these numbers, again, my wallets, I kind of have a compounding, I have three main wallets. I have a compounding wallet, a claiming wallet, and a 50-50 wallet is just the strategies that I have in place. If you want to hit these numbers, these are with compounding for a year. So, if you don't need the money, this would be the best way to grow it, is you just keep compounding. Now, if you're putting in a whole bunch and you're wanting to create kind of a passive income, then yeah, maybe you put in $10,000 and then maybe you do a 50-50 strategy where you're compounding half the time and claiming half the time. Maybe you claim 3 days a week and then you hydrate 4 days a week. And then if you're wondering how often you should hydrate, I really like this tool because there is, it does cost you some gas to hydrate. It's going to maybe be like 70 cents, 80 cents, $1, $1.20, whatever BNB is at the time. So if you only have, if you put in only $500, then it might not make sense for you to hydrate every day. So they have this calculator. I'm not even sure who built it, but someone in German. You can put down, I have 35 drip. Drip's currently at $10. BNB's currently at 200. I don't even know what BNB is. I know it's down today. But then this will tell you, okay, in order to maximize and not waste on gas fees, you should, at this rate, hydrate every 19 days, okay? And that's the most efficient way. So I like using that calculator to kind of tell you, at some points, if you have 500, let's say you have 10,000 drip in there, then you're going to want to hydrate once an hour is the most efficient way to do it, okay? So it might be even more than once a day. And you can have to just balance that with logistically, I can't hop on here 20 times a day to hydrate. So you just have to work that out. But I'll put a link to this. All in all, is drip risky? Yes. Okay, it's DeFi. All right, you can't expect that you're going to get 26% returns without some level of risk. Do I believe that the risk is worth it on drip right now? Personally, I do. I would put it in my top 10 projects right now, just because I think we're close to a bump. If not a plateau, I think we're close to a bump. I think a lot of people that were just claiming, they put in initially, they claimed for 365%, and I think a lot of the people who are selling are out right now. There's a lot coming in the ecosystem, and I do believe in the community and in Forex himself. So that's just my take on it. Please do leave in the comments below. Let me know what you think about drip. You can say I'm totally wrong. That's totally fine. Okay, I have been wrong about a lot of things before. Whenever you take a stand on something, you're going to have opportunity to potentially be wrong. Okay, and there's definitely potential that I'm wrong about this. But let me know what you think. Also, please do hit the like button and please subscribe. I do appreciate that. But yeah, if we hit 1,000 likes, I'm going to rely on the drip community to help grow this video. But if we get 1,000 likes on this video, I think that would be awesome and will help the spread a lot. But thank you guys. Again, I'm in San Diego right now, so I'm working my way back to my office and to my good internet and my microphone. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. But I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate you watching, and I hope everybody has a good rest of their day.